Hello everyone, I'm Bingjo. Welcome back to another video. So this is the second video for the probability chapter, and in this video onwards, I'm gonna separate this into three videos. So because we have three ways to actually present a probability. All right. So in this video, we're gonna be looking at how to present. All right, present a probability. All right, I'm gonna make this a bit. I'm zooming a bit. Okay, present probability on a what's this name called? On a probability diagram. All right, if you want to call it another one, it's called possibility diagram. All right, so there are two more ways to present a probability. All right, so I'm just gonna write it down first. I'm gonna erase it later. One is the tree diagram. All right, which we'll look at it in the next video. All right, and then we'll look at to present a probability using Venn diagram in the next video. Yeah, so it's the video after the tree diagram. All right, so yeah, this is the agenda for this video. So we're gonna look at to present probability on a possibility diagram. All right, and then after that we are gonna look at conditional. All right, conditional probability. All right, so what is a conditional probability and how do we get our answer from this possibility diagram? Okay, so yeah, it might sound a bit confusing now, but let's go into the example so that so that everything can be clearer. All right, so what is a possibility diagram? Okay, so in short, a possibility diagram lists out, all right, a possibility diagram will list out all possible outcomes. All right, and then you can get your answers from there. All right, so in one example is, all right, I'm going to roll two fair six-sided die. Six-sided dice. All right, and then to construct a possibility diagram. All right, so the possibility diagram is as follow. Okay, so since you are tossing two fair dice. Okay, so we're gonna start the table. So this is dice number 1 and this is dice number 2. All right, so if we're gonna write down 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 right down here. Okay, so the summation, all right, so let's say you are playing a Monopoly game and you are supposed to throw two dice. Okay, so the number of steps you move will depending on the number facing up on each the sum of the numbers on each die. All right, so if you're gonna add up all the sums here, all right, you can do it up yourself too. So just gonna do it real quick. 5 6 7, and we're just gonna list down every single summation, all right, uh according to the numbers here. All right, 4 5 6 7 8 9, and this is going to be 5 6 7 8 9 10 6. All right, this is 6 7 8 9 10 11, and lastly 7 8 9 10 11 12. All right, so these are all the possible combinations from two dices. All right, so if you roll, how do you read this table? Right, if you roll a 3 in dice 1 and you roll a 5 in dice 2, then you're gonna move 8 steps. Right, so 8 is the summation of both of these dice, and in this possibility diagram we are listing out all the possible outcomes for rolling a 2 dice. All right, so the question might ask you to say to draw a possibility diagram for tossing 2 coins. All right, then it will just be heads and tails, and you're just gonna write down all the possible ones. All right, so for this example right here, we are throwing 2 dice. All right, and the question the question can ask you in any method. All right, so let's go to the next page, and I'm gonna write the question. Okay, the question is asking for what is the probability of getting an odd number. All right, so as you can calculate from there, all right, the answer will be equals to, all right, so if we refer back to the table here, there are 36, all right, there are 36 possible outcomes. All right, so remember the probability, okay, the probability of remember the okay, probability of A is equals to the number of times event A happening, all right, divided by the number of total outcomes. All right, so by using this, all right, we can easily get the answer from the possibility diagram. Okay, so the number of total outcomes will be 36, right? So there are 36 different outcomes that you can get from throwing two dice. All right, so this is equals to 36, and now you are going to count the number of times event A is happening. So what is event A in this case? It's the probability of you getting an odd a summation number. All right, so from here you can calculate all the trees, right? So this 3 right here, this 5 right here, this 7 right here, and so on. All right, so if you're going to calculate, it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 and 18. So there are 18 possible outcomes that you will get an odd number. All right, so this is 18 divided by 36, and it will be equals to 1 over 2. And it actually makes sense, because if it's not even, then it's odd. So the probability of you getting odd will be just half of the total probability, and this is the answer. All right, so maybe the question will ask you, what is the all right, what if the question now asks you, what is the probability of you getting a sum of 10? All right, so if you're gonna list out one by one, you can do so. All right, so if you can think from from the possibilities, you can get 4 and 6. All right, you can get 4 6, you can get 5 5, all right, and you can have 6 and 4. All right, and this is actually equals to 3 out of the 36 outcomes. All right, so it will be equals to 1 over 12. Right, so if we are going to double check with our answer using the possibility diagram, okay, so this is the answer using the possibility diagram. Okay, we know that the total outcomes is 36, right? And then if we are gonna refer to how many possible tens that we will get, and if you can see all from these tables right here, there is only 3 tens recorded. All right, so the answer here will be 3, and it will be the same as what we have deduced just now, all right, by listing out all the possible ones. But in some cases, it's not too easy to list out, because you might actually miss one. Let's say if you wrote 4 6 and 5 5 and you just stop, your answer will be 2 out of 36, which is wrong because you forgot 6 and 4. All right, so a possibility diagram is very easy, and it's very useful for you to uh, get the answer correctly. Okay, so this is actually all about the possibility diagram. And next we're gonna look at what is a conditional probability. All right, so I'm gonna write down here, actually a conditional probability means conditional probability. All right, so conditional probability is the probability of A happening. All right, let's say A is an event happening, given, all right, given B happened. All right, so in a very simple example, all right, e.g., if I tell you what probability of you getting a number getting a sum of 10. Alright, from the previous example, we get our answer is 3 over 36, which is equals to 1 over 12. Alright, but if now I'm telling you that the question is now asking, find the probability, okay, I'm gonna write down in sentence, what is the probability of getting a summation of 10, alright, 10, given the sum is larger than 7. Alright, so now in this case, we know that the sum is larger than 7. Alright, the example can be you throw the dice and you don't look at it, and then you are going to guess the sum that you get that from the dice you throw. Your friend saw the answer, but your friend just tell you, I know the sum is larger than 7. So this is a different probability from the one above, because you are already told that the sum is larger than 7. So the probability actually narrows down, the possible outcomes actually narrows down to any outcomes that is larger than 7. Okay, so might sound a bit confusing, but let's continue to look at the answer. Okay, so the answer here, all right, how do we write it? All right, probability of, right, getting a sum of 10, all right, given, okay, so given, we would just write a straight line like this, all right, so given that, okay, given that the sum is larger than 7. Alright, so you can actually write using these symbols, but in exams, it's better for you to write in whole sentence. Alright, so what is the probability of a sum of 10 given that the sum is larger than 7? Alright, so now we know that the sum is larger than 7. So now we're going to look at the total possible outcomes that are actually larger than 7. So in this case, 7 is not counted because we want the sum that is larger than 7. So we will get all these ones below here. So it's 8, 9, 10, and 11, 12. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so there are 15 possible outcomes. Okay, so there are total 15 possible outcomes that the sum is larger than 7. And now you want the sum of 10, which is 3, all right, because you will get three outcomes, which is 4, 6, 5, 5, and 6, 4, right? So 3 out of 15, which gives your final answer to be actually equals to 1 over 5. So as you can see here, both answers are different because one is 1 over 12 and one is 1 over 5. Because for conditional probability, you are given some further information for you to narrow down the probability, so you get a higher probability as compared to those that does not have a condition. All right, so yeah, this is basically all about the possibility diagram and how do you calculate a conditional probability using the possibility diagram. So yeah, in the next video, we'll look at 3 diagrams, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.